Hey guys, it's Michael, and today I'm here to do my May wrap-up. So I have my trusty dandy book right here to talk to you about all the books I read in May. Overall, I thought, yeah, it was pretty okay. It was pretty good. I read some really good books during May. Let's get started because there's quite a few. So the first book that I read, I actually listened to, was Gone Girl by Gillian Flynn. I actually started this book maybe like a few years ago, but for some odd reason I just didn't finish it for some apparent reason. I don't know why. And so I decided, I was like, you know what, let me listen to it on audiobook, and you know what, it was pretty good actually. I didn't enjoy it as much as her other works. It wasn't as riveting for some odd reason. I don't know what it was, but for some reason I wasn't into it as much. The twist, it's obvious there's a twist. I mean, if you read any of her books or you know anything about this, is that there is obviously going to be a twist. And I was like, oh, what if this happened? And then something did happen. I was like, okay, so it's happening this way. Yeah, I don't have that much to say about it because I mean, I thought it was enjoyable. I don't think it was as shocking as some of her other novels, because I thought the other ones was like, oh my god, what is going on? Yeah, I gave it like a 4 out of 5. The next one that I read was Lock and Key Volume 1, Welcome to Lovecraft by Joe Hill and Gabrielle Rodriguez. I got this from the Free Comic Book Day, and I really enjoyed it. I thought it was so cool. Just the concept alone, I think, is just probably the best part of this. The concept of like the keys opening the doors and then have different powers and whatnot, I thought that was really cool and just a really imaginative concept overall. I also, the story was really good. It was really interesting, especially from the beginning. It's just really bloody and I really enjoyed it. The artwork on this though, you know what? I thought it was okay. It just took me a while to get into it art-wise. I just thought it was like, oh, this is really... It wasn't as what I thought it would be, but overall I enjoyed it. I gave it 4.5 out of 5 stars. Next, I read Walking Dead Volume 1, and then I read Volume 2 like a few weeks afterwards. The first one is Days Gone By, and Miles Behind Us is Volume 2 by Robert Kirkman. I rated the first one 4 out of 5 stars. The second one, I rated it 3 out of 5 stars. I've gotten into The Walking Dead before, the TV show, but then after the first season, I just stopped for some odd reason. I just haven't finished watching it. I don't know why. But I did play the video game Season 1, and I did finish that on my PS3, and I really liked it. And I can see why people really like this comic series. It's just really real, if that makes any sense. Like, these are things that people would do. The thing is though, Volume 2, I just felt like, it wasn't as great as Volume 1, especially when you're getting introduced to the characters. And Volume 2, for some odd reason, I was just like, okay. So I thought that wasn't as great as Volume 1. I mean, I think it's worth a shot to read anyways, because it's just a really good... I think it starts off really great. I'm hoping it gets even better. Next, I read Dogs Are People 2, a collection of cartoons to make your tail wag by Dave Coverley. This was really a quick, easy read. It's basically just comic books about dogs. That's it. Some of them are really funny, so yeah. 3 out of 5 stars. It was just like a quick little read. Next, I read The Crossover by Kwame Alexander. I did a full-on review about it. I'll link it below. It's really good. I liked it. It was some good poetry overall. If you want to know more of my thoughts, I linked it next. I gave The Crossover 4 out of 5 stars. Next, I read Broken Monsters by Lauren Beukes. Again, I did a whole review on that one. I really liked it. I think you should check it out. It's just a great thriller. I gave that 4.5 out of 5. Next, I read Batman Volume 1, The Court of Owls by Scott Snyder. As you can tell, I really love Batman comics for some reason. I don't know what it is. And this one was pretty good actually. I gave it 4 out of 5 stars. What I liked about it was, well, the story was really good and really interesting. There was this part in the middle where it started playing with your mind and I was like, oh, that's so cool. I just really liked it overall. I gave it 4 out of 5 stars. Some of the next few books I'm gonna talk a lot about, so that's mainly what I'm here for. The next book I read was The Immortal Life of Henrietta Lacks by Rebecca Skloot. So this is a non-fiction book about Henrietta Lacks. In case you don't know, she's basically the I won't say donor. She's the one that has the cell for the HeLa. And HeLa cells are basically your basic cells that you study in science. I have worked with them before, HeLa cells, and so I was like, oh my god, this book is gonna be really interesting because I've actually had experience with these. At the end, I thought the book was okay, because this book, I thought it had several issues actually. What I really loved first of all was that I love learning where HeLa cells come from, especially about her life and just how the book comes up with premises about exactly what are your rights, about what do you own exactly, what is it, something with science. I really enjoyed that. The other part of this book that I was not expecting was that this was mainly about her. Because while it has information, has a lot of information about Henrietta Lacks, I just thought that the Skloot moments, I was like, okay. And while I thought the family story and dynamics were really interesting, I just thought it kind of dragged on, especially when Skloot starts talking about her trying to find her research with Henrietta's daughter. I thought that part was like, okay. I just wanted more. I just wanted to know more about the HeLa cells, and I just got more out of Skloot, but I did enjoy it overall. I gave it 3 out of 5 stars. I think you should actually read it. I think it's a great read. I actually listened to it on audiobook. It's just that I kind of wish there was less Skloot and more Henrietta Lacks. The next books that I read was for the Readathon, the BoutofBooks 13 Readathon. I did a whole wrap up, and you can see the vlogs. I'll link it all over here. I read Saga Volume 1 by Brian K. Vaughan and Fiona Staples, El Defo by C.C. Bell, Helter Skelter, The True Story of the Manson Murders by Vincent Bugliosi. I think I pronounced that wrong in my video, so excuse me. Narrated by Scott Brick. Dog Songs by Marie Oliver. How America Got Her Sword by Barry Dutch. And then Hausfrau by Jill Alexander Esbaum. If for anything, skip to Hausfrau because I think that's a great book that you should read. It's released this year, and I thought it was fantastic. Oh, that book is really good. Okay, the next book that I read, well, I actually listened to, was Dead Until Dark by Charlaine Harris. I really want to broaden my reading, so I want to read this year. I really do want to read different types of books, and I do enjoy the True Blood TV show on HBO. I've seen a couple of seasons of it. I think I went up to season 4 or 5. Whichever one was the witch, I went up to there, and then for some odd reason I stopped. But before I go into this tangent, if you have never seen a HBO Blu-ray, oh my gosh. Wow. Oh my gosh. HBO's make amazing Blu-rays. Like their transfers, oh, it's so beautiful. Oh my god, especially The Sopranos. Wow, that whoever did the transfer to that on Blu-ray was just, oh, it was beautiful. Anyways, so I wanted to read this because I was like, why not? It was not my cup of tea, to say the least. It followed a lot of the TV show, and it actually didn't follow a lot of the TV shows. Like, the TV show, I actually thought was kind of better than the book, which is really weird, because usually it's the other way around. And this time I felt like the TV show had more depth and more world building, instead of the actual book, which was really bizarre, because while I was listening to it, I was like, I'm glad I've watched the show, because I felt like the show really helped the book be better, and for some odd reason, it's just not the other way around. there's characters in the TV show that's not even mentioned in the books. I was like, whoa! It just wasn't my... yeah, there's that. There are some moments though when I was like, oh, okay, like it wasn't that bad. I'm not gonna knock it down because it's just not my cup of tea, but I can understand why people liked it. I mean, it was just literally like something to listen to while... just something to listen to. I rated it 2 out of 5 stars on Goodreads, so yeah. Next, I read The Curious Case of Benjamin Button by F. Scott Fitzgerald. This one is it's actually a short story, actually. First off, I love Fitzgerald. He's one of my favorite authors. What I love about him is that his writing is just really good. Every time I read his works, like This Side of Paradise, The Great Gatsby, it's just beautiful. Like, his writing is really good. # goals. It has this air of, like, it's almost really like airy and fluffy, but without that condescending tone, as if like someone snobby was writing it, if that makes any sense. But I just really like his writing, and in this one I really enjoyed it. The thing about this though is this short story, I felt like it should have been a full-on novel. It needed more explanation, basically. It needed more. And in case you don't know, Fitzgerald wrote a lot of short stories. Like, he wrote a lot of short stories. And I haven't gone through his whole catalog. This is just one of them. But it still was really great. It's about this man who's growing up backwards. So he starts as an old man and eventually becomes a baby. I have seen the movie, but it was like way back, so I don't remember that much of it. I thought it was okay. I gave it 3 out of 5 stars. I mean, the writing definitely carries this. I thought the writing was fantastic, but other than that, the characters, it was okay. Next, I read Hanakimi by Hisaya Nakajo. The reason why I wanted to read this got adapted so many times by a lot of Asian television. I mean, like, a lot. I mean, I think there's a Filipino version of this, I'm sure. Maybe. I don't know. But there's definitely a Chinese version. There's a Japanese version, like real live action one. There's a Korean K-drama version. Oh my gosh, you should watch it. It's called To the Beautiful You. Oh, it's so good! But it's about this girl who is in love just because she saw this guy that goes to this school. He's a pole vaulter. Pole vaulter. Yeah, he's a pole vaulter. He attends a all-male school, so she disguises herself as a boy and basically decides to follow him. What I really like about this, I actually have volume 2, I'm about to read it. I have volume 1 and then I'm about to read volume 2 soon. First off, it's funny. Like, this is a funny anime. I think it's hilarious. But it also brings up questions of like identity, sexuality. There's a character in here that starts to fall in love with her, but he thinks he's a guy, so he's questioning like, am I gay? So it's just really funny. The characters are really good. I think it's just a great manga overall, and it just tells a really interesting story. Yeah, I really liked it. So I gave that 4 out of 5 stars. Okay, the next book that I'm gonna talk about, it is definitely one of my favorite books I've read ever. Especially this year. It's just so good. But disclaimer, the book that I'm about to talk about, I'm going to be completely biased on it because it's about dogs. So there's that. And that's A Dog's Purpose by W. Bruce Cameron. If you saw my vlog, you know why I love this book. I love this book. I listened to it on audiobook, and every time I got in my car and was listening to it, I was so excited because it was so good. And also, this book does something that really genuinely surprised me. If you've watched or read anything about dogs, like in the media or whatnot, like a story-wise, you know what's going to happen at the end. Like, it's obvious. And this book breaks that mold. It was, oh my gosh, so good, because something happens in the middle. Actually, it's not even in the middle. Like, 1/3 of the way through, and I was like, what is going on? Like, what? This book brought on so many emotions for me. Like, I was happy, sad, frustrated, mad, everything. Like, I was bitter during some parts. And I think what's really great about this, because this book is about a first-person view from a dog named Bailey, and it's basically accounting his life when he's a puppy and grows up to be a full-grown adult. And I thought his voice was perfect, because the best part about it was that I really believe, like, this was a dog that I was in the mind of, since it's in first person. Like, I am in this mind of this dog, because, you know, I love my dog, and I felt like I saw, like, I could really see that this was my dog. Like, I could really see it. And let me tell you the ending. Oh my god! No spoilers here, but the ending to this was so good. It was so good. Like, when I say so good, I was in my car. I was like, oh my god, no. It was perfect. This book, I think, was basically like, I wouldn't change a thing. Like, I would not have changed a thing. Oh my gosh. Cameron, if you're watching this, wow, this book, I think is one of those, like, I can't really say a fault to it because I just really loved it. And again, you don't have to take my word on it because I am completely biased on this review about this book, but I just thought it was really good. I think that's what really escalates this novel, is that the voice of the dog, of Bailey, is just really fleshed out. Like, it was fantastic. I really recommend this book. If you're feeling happy, sad, mad, glad, whatever, I recommend this book. This is definitely one of my top favorites this year, and I just really enjoyed it. I read 1, 2, 3, 4, 16, 17, 18, 19. I read 19 books in May, so that's pretty good actually. And I felt like I read a lot of books that I'm really happy about, especially because The Dog's Purpose is gonna definitely be up there. Oh, that was so good. I'm excited to watch everyone else's May's wrap-up. I love it during the end of the month to watch everybody's wrap-ups. So yeah, let me know what you read in the comments below, and if you read any of these, let me know what you thought about them. But until then, I'll see you guys till later. Bye!